You never promised me the whole world. You just made sure I was warm again. You knew exactly how I liked my coffee. You knew which songs could make me smile. You waited up when I worked too late, even when you'd been awake a while. I used to wonder why you never said the words I wanted to hear. Now I know I was listening for a language that wasn't there. It was in the things you never said, in the little ways you stayed, in the coat you left beside the doorway, in the dinner that you made. It was in the light you left on for me when the whole house had gone dark. You never had to say forever. You were already building it in my heart. You fixed the window every winter. You knew when I was coming down. You'd leave the radio beside me when you knew I couldn't sleep. You never asked for recognition, never counted what you'd done. You just loved me in the ordinary, until ordinary felt like home. And now I see the years behind us, every quiet little sign. You weren't silent about your feelings, you were speaking them all the time. It was in the things you never said, in the little ways you stayed, in the coat you left beside the doorway, in the dinner that you made. It was in the light you left on for me when the whole house had gone dark. You never had to say forever. You were already building it in my heart. Last night I watched you sleeping, your hand resting beside mine, and suddenly the years were written in every silver thread I could find. We didn't have a perfect story, we didn't need one to be true. I finally understood what love was when I stopped waiting for it to sound like something new. You weren't the man of grand declarations. You were the man who never stopped showing up. It was in the things you never said, in the little ways you stayed, in the coat you left beside the doorway, in the dinner that you made. It was in the light you left on for me when the whole house had gone dark. You never had to say forever. You were us. The things you never said, I finally heard them all these years. I was listening the wrong way. The rain was falling on the pavement. You were standing by the car. We had said too much to each other, but I didn't know we'd gone that far. You said, don't leave like this. I said, then give me one good reason. You reached for me, I pulled away, too angry to believe you needed me. I walked past the corner, past the place we used to meet. Then I heard you call my name, like your heart had followed me. I should have turned around, I should have stopped that night. I should have let your arms around me and swallowed up my pride. You called my name behind me. I heard you through the rain. I kept walking like forever was something I could find again. I waited for you to come after me, for the door to open wide. I wanted you to prove you loved me, but you were tired of proving why. The next morning there was nothing, no message, no call, no sign. Two people waiting for the other to be the first to lose their pride. Days became December, December became years. I learned how to live without you, but never how to forget that voice. I should have turned around, I should have stopped that night. I should have let your arms around me and swallowed up my pride. You called my name behind me. I heard you through the rain. I kept walking like forever was something I could find again. I've loved again since then. I've had a life I can't deny. But sometimes when the rain comes down, I'm 29 again that night. I see your hand beside the doorway. I hear the tremble in your voice, and I understand too late that walking away was still a choice. Not every love ends because it wasn't strong enough. Sometimes it ends because two hearts are too proud at the same time. I should have turned around, I should have stopped that night. I should have let your arms around me and swallowed up my pride. You called my name behind me. I heard you through the rain. turn around this time before the silence makes the choice for me. I heard you call my name. I heard you, I just didn't turn around. You were underneath the old car, hands covered in black and gold. I was holding up the flashlight, trying not to laugh at what you told. You said, I think I know the problem. I said, you've said that twice before. You looked at me and started laughing, and I forgot what we were fixing for. We weren't looking for forever. We weren't chasing some grand sign. We were just two tired hearts trying to have a better night. And then you were right here, right now, smiling like you knew somehow. No thunder, no stars falling, no reason to explain. Just your hand finding mine at exactly the right time. Maybe love was never lost. Maybe it was waiting right here, right now. You brought coffee every morning. I learned how you take it black. You pretend you needed my opinion just to make me come back. We spent Saturdays in that garage, radio playing low. You fixed the engine, I fixed dinner, and neither one of us wanted to go. We started talking after midnight about the lives we'd left behind. You said maybe all those wrong turns were just roads that brought us here. And then you were right here, right now, smiling like you knew somehow. No thunder, no stars falling, no reason to explain. Just your hand finding mine at exactly the right time. Maybe love was never lost. Maybe it was waiting right here, right now. We used to think love had to hurt to prove that it was real. Now I know the strongest kind is the one that lets you heal. You don't make me feel completed. You make me wanna grow. You don't ask me to forget my past. You simply love me where I am, and somehow that is everything. You were right here, right now, and suddenly I figured out why every door I walked through had never felt like home. Every wrong goodbye, every lonely night was leading me to this moment I could never right place to stand, right here, right now. No grand design, just you, just me, and the timing finally right. You were standing near the window, talking softly to someone. I almost turned away and left until you looked at me. There it was again, that look I thought I'd buried. 1 second across a crowded room and 20 years disappeared. You said you look beautiful, I said you've aged well. We both laughed at the careful words we used to hide what we felt. It was the way you looked at me, like no time had passed at all. Like every door we closed behind us was still waiting in the hall. It was the way you looked at me, and the room began to fade. I remembered every reason I had loved you, and every mistake we made. You asked if I was happy, I said most of the time. You smiled like you could hear the part I left behind. We walked out onto the balcony, the music falling through the glass. You said I never stopped remembering. I said neither did I. Your hand was close beside me, but neither one moved first. We had learned that wanting someone doesn't make the timing work. It was the way you looked at me, like no time had passed at all. Like every door we closed behind us was still waiting in the hall. It was the way you looked at me, and the room began to fade. I remembered every reason I had loved you, and every mistake we were younger when we lost it, too proud to bend, too scared to stay. Now we know that love is more than wanting someone anyway. You said if we try again, we have to tell the truth. I said then start with this. I still want you, but this time I don't want yesterday. I want you as you are now. It was the way you looked at me, and I finally understood some desire Let the fire remain burning, but let wisdom hold the flame. You looked at me, I looked away, then I smiled and looked again. We were sitting at a wedding. You were making fun of my dress. I said, you're impossible. You said, you know you love me best. The bride was dancing with her father. Everyone was crying in the room. You leaned across and whispered, one day that'll be you. I laughed and changed the subject, but something stayed behind. I watched you talking to the waiter and saw you through different eyes. You were beside me all along, through every right and every wrong. When I was chasing someone else's arms, you were the place I could belong. I thought love would shake the heavens. I thought I'd know it when it came, but you were beside me all along. And somehow I never knew your name. Could feel like home. You drove me home after midnight, radio playing soft and low. You asked if I was happy. I said, I don't know. You didn't try to fix it, you just parked beneath my light. Then you said, call me tomorrow. And suddenly I wanted you to stay tonight. I remembered every birthday, every secret, every fight. Every time I fell apart, you were the first one by my side. You were beside me all along, through every right and every wrong. When I was chasing someone else's arms, you were the place I could belong. I thought love would shake the heavens. I thought I'd know it when it came, but you were beside me all along. And somehow I never knew your name. Could feel like maybe I was looking for fireworks when I should have watched the stars. Maybe love was never supposed to leave a scar. You knew every version of me, the brave one and the scared. And somehow after all these years, you're still the one who's there. So I took your hand. You look surprised. I said, don't make me explain it. You were beside me all along, and now the missing piece is gone. Every road I thought it led nowhere was quietly leading me to you. I don't need a perfect moment, I don't need some grand refrain. I just need you beside me when tomorrow calls my can take so long to recognize where it belongs. I found my seat beneath the balcony. The house was dark, the curtain rose. Then you walked into the spotlight, and I knew you before the music spoke. You looked older than my memory, but somehow younger than my heart. I watched the crowd begin to love you, while I remembered where you started. You once played for me in a kitchen with one broken string and borrowed time. You said someday they'll hear me. I said someday you'll still be mine. After the applause, when the lights begin to fade, I wonder if you ever think of all the choices that we made. We were young enough to believe that love could simply wait, but dreams don't stop for lovers, and time doesn't negotiate. I saw you backstage after midnight. You looked at me and lost your words. For once the man who faced 1,000 people didn't know what to say first. You asked me if I was happy. I said I learned how to be. You smiled and said that's good, then looked away from me. I told you about my life now. You told me about the road. We spoke like two old friends who knew what neither one could hold. After the applause, when the lights begin to fade, I wonder if you ever think of all the choices that we made. We were young enough to believe that love could simply wait, but dreams don't stop for lovers, and time doesn't negotiate. You said I thought you'd come back. I said I thought you'd call. We laughed at how two stubborn hearts could lose what they wanted most of all. I wanted to ask you to leave with me. You wanted to ask me too, but there were lives waiting outside, and we had finally learned what love could not undo. Some doors close because the love is gone. Others close because the love was real. After the applause, when the last light disappears, I'll remember how you looked at me through all 6:30, you would sit beside the door. I would stand beside the window, wondering what you came here for. We never said a word together, just the rhythm of the rails. Two strangers sharing the same silence, two separate stories on the same train. Then one rainy Thursday evening, I left my scarf upon the seat. You picked it up before the doors closed, and somehow that became our beginning. On the last train home, you were waiting there for me, holding something I had forgotten, like a reason I could see. On the last train home, two strangers learned to talk, and somewhere between the stations, you became the reason I got off. You said, I think this belongs to you. I said, I think it does. You smiled and asked if I'd have coffee. I said, I suppose. We missed the train that evening, sat beneath the station light. We talked until the platform emptied, and neither wanted to say goodnight. After that we shared the window, then the coffee, then the rain. Funny how a forgotten scarf can change the direction of a life. On the last train home, you were waiting there for me, holding something I had forgotten, like a reason I could see. On the last train home, two strangers learned to talk, and somewhere between the stations, you became the reason I got off. Years have passed since that first evening. The train line changed its name, but sometimes when I hear those rails, my heart goes back again. Not because I miss the station, not because I miss the rain. I miss the woman I was then, who had no idea what was coming. She thought she lost a scarf, she found a life. On the last train home, you were waiting there for me, holding something I had forgotten, like a reason I could see. On the last train home, two strangers learned to talk, and somewhere between the stations, you became the reason I got off. Now every evening when we're driving, you still reach across for my hand, and I still think about that Thursday, how chance had made its little plan. If I had remembered my scarf, if you had never waited there, maybe we'd still be strangers, passing through the same cold air. 6:30, last train home. One forgotten scarf, waiting for. You used to call me every evening, just before the city slept. I'd hear the train outside your window. You'd ask me if I missed you yet. We counted weeks instead of seasons, wrote our names across the miles. You sent me tapes with your voice on them, and I played them back 1,000 times. We were certain distance couldn't change the way we felt. We thought two hearts could hold a promise longer than they could hold themselves. But somewhere in the distance we became someone else. Not strangers, not enemies, just less like ourselves. We kept saying I love you like words could build a bridge, but the distance wasn't between the cities. It was the distance we became. Your calls became a little shorter, my letters stayed beside the bed. We stopped talking about tomorrow, started talking about what happened. I could hear it in your silence, you could hear it in mine. We were both afraid to say the ending, because saying it would make it real. There was no one else between us, no betrayal to explain, just two lives moving forward on two different trains. Somewhere in the distance we became someone else. Not strangers, not enemies, just less like ourselves. We kept saying I love you like words could build a bridge, but the distance wasn't between the cities. It was the distance we became. The last night that we spoke, you said, "Are you happy?" I said, "I don't know." You were quiet for a moment, then whispered, "Neither do I." I wanted you to tell me to stay, you wanted me to ask you to come home. But sometimes two people can love each other and still know they've reached the end of the road. So I said, "Thank you." You said, "I love you." And we hung up. Somewhere in the distance we became someone else. Not strangers, not enemies, just wasn't the miles, it wasn't the years, it wasn't the silence. It was us becoming different people. I woke up sometime after midnight. The house was quiet as a prayer. I walked downstairs without a reason and found you sitting in the kitchen there. You had a cup between your hands, a book you weren't really reading. You looked up and said, "Bad day," like you had known before I spoke. You made the tea the way I like it, 2 sugars, nothing more. And suddenly I saw our whole life in the little things you do. It lives beneath the kitchen light, in the cup you make at night, in the way you know I'm hurting before I ever say I'm not alright. We never needed perfect moments, we never needed grand design. You just kept loving me in 1,000 little ways that became a lifetime. There are photographs upstairs, our younger faces full of plans. There are children in the hallway and years written into both our hands. Your hair is turned a little silver, mine has changed along the way. But when you reach across the table, I still feel that first December day. We have argued, we have stumbled, we've been tired, we've been wrong, but every morning you were there, and somehow that became our song. It lives beneath the kitchen light, in the cup you make at night, in the way you know I'm hurting before I ever say I'm not alright. We never needed perfect moments, we never needed grand design. You just kept loving me in 1,000 little ways that became a lifetime. I used to think that love was thunder, something wild that shook the sky. Now I think it's someone noticing when you haven't slept at night. It's your hand upon my shoulder, it's your coat around my back, it's knowing when to hold me close and when to simply let me breathe. It's knowing me completely and loving me anyway. It lives beneath the kitchen light, in the cup you make at night, in the way you know I'm hurting before I ever say I'm not alright. We never needed perfect moments, we never needed was another way you loved me. The house is quiet, the kettle hums. You reach for my hand, and I think this is what forever must have meant. You whispered, do you wanna leave? While everyone was dressed in black, I said, give me 30 seconds. You said, I'll get the car. We slipped out through the kitchen, laughing like we'd lost our minds. You turned the radio up louder, and I left the party far behind. You asked me where I wanted to go. I said anywhere but here. You smiled and pressed the pedal down, and suddenly the night felt clear. We drove until sunrise with nowhere we had to be. The city falling behind us, your hand reaching out for me. We talked about our secrets, we laughed about our lives, and somewhere before the morning I fell in love without realizing why. We stopped beside an all-night diner, 2 coffees and a piece of pie. You told me all your foolish dreams, I told you every reason why I'd hide. Then we climbed that empty hillside, watched the darkness turn to gold. You said, I wish this night could last. I said, maybe it doesn't have to. The first light touched your face, and I remember thinking then, if I go home with you this morning, I won't be the same again. We drove until sunrise with nowhere we had to be. The city falling behind us, your hand reaching out for me. We talked about our secrets, we laughed about our lives, and somewhere before the morning I fell in love without realizing why. We didn't promise forever, we didn't say the word love. We just sat there watching daylight turn the whole world into gold. Maybe that's the secret, the heart doesn't always warn you. Sometimes it simply opens while you're busy looking at the view. You looked at me, I looked at you, and neither of us wanted to go home alone. We drove until sunrise, and I wish I could go back, not to change a single moment, just to feel that first surprise. The night we left that party, we thought we were escaping. We didn't know they were meant to arrive. We drove until sunrise, and somewhere on that road I stopped looking for somewhere else to go. I found the key beneath the flower pot, the same old place, the same old door. The hallway smelled like dust and rain, but I could hear us there once more. The kitchen still had that little window where you would stand and watch the street. I almost called your name aloud, then remembered you weren't there with me. I came to take the piano, the one we bought when we were young. I thought I'd take a piece of yesterday and carry it with me when I was gone. But I don't need that room, I don't need those walls, I don't need the photographs to remember us at all. We were laughter in the kitchen, we were dancing in the hall, and even though we left together, we were never meant to stay there after all. The bedroom still faced the garden, the curtains moved the way they did. I remembered Sunday mornings, the way you kissed me while I slept. Then I saw the mark beside the doorway where we measured every passing year. 2 names, 1 line, and nothing, and suddenly the ending felt so near. I remembered our last argument, the words that neither could forgive. Funny how a room can hold a lifetime long after the people leave. But I don't need that room, I don't need those walls, I don't need the photographs to remember us at all. We were laughter in the kitchen, we were dancing in the hall, and even though we left together, we were never meant to stay there after all. I sat beside the old piano, ran my fingers over the keys. I played the song you used to love, and for a moment you were here with me. Not as the man who broke my heart, not as the one I couldn't save, just as the boy who held my hand and made that empty apartment feel like home. I closed the lid, I left the piano, and for the first time I didn't feel like I was leaving you. I don't need that room, I don't need those walls, I can finally walk outside. The key went back beneath the flower pot. The hallway felt quiet. I walked into the morning and didn't look back. The box arrived on Tuesday, brown paper, faded blue. There was no name upon the label, just a street I once knew. Inside were stacks of envelopes, some yellowed by the years. I knew your handwriting instantly, and suddenly I couldn't breathe. I thought you stopped writing, I thought you let me go. I built my life around that silence, never knowing what I didn't know. These were letters that never arrived, words that waited through the years. Every I love you you had written was still alive inside the tears. You said you missed me every winter, you said you'd wait if you could. And all this time I thought you left me while you were loving me as best you could. The first one said I'm lonely, the next said I found a job. Another said I dreamt about you and woke up calling out your name. There were letters from December, letters from July and spring. You wrote about the life we planned, about the wedding ring. You asked me to remember the little house we'd find. You said if you still love me, I'll leave this place behind. These were letters that never arrived, words that waited through the years. Every I love you you had written was still alive inside the tears. You said you missed me every winter, you said you'd wait if you could. And all this time I thought you left me while you were loving me as best you The final letter was the shortest, just 3 lines on a page. I don't know if you still love me, I don't know if these will reach you, but I never stopped. I held it to my heart, like it could somehow close the distance. Then I understood, we didn't stop loving, we just stopped receiving the proof. And sometimes that's all it takes to lose a lifetime. These were letters that never arrived, and now I finally know you didn't disappear from loving me, you simply disappeared from my road. We were two hearts sending signals through a world that could loving you through all those years. These were letters that never arrived, but they found me in the end. Too late to change the story, not too late to understand. If I'd known you were still waiting, I would have crossed every line. But fate kept every envelope and gave them back when they were no longer mine. I placed the letters in a drawer, not to forget, but to remember. Somewhere, once upon a time, you were still writing to me. You called me from the airport, said you had one night in town. I almost didn't answer, but your voice still pulled me around. We met beside the old cafe, the one where we used to hide. You looked at me and laughed. Some things don't change with time. You asked me if I still lived here. I said I never left. You smiled and said I always knew you'd choose this place instead. We had two ways to love, two roads beneath our feet. You needed every distant highway, I needed somewhere I could keep. You weren't afraid of leaving, I wasn't afraid to stay. We just called different things forever, and neither one was wrong that way. You told me about the oceans, the cities you'd passed through. I told you about the little garden, the house I finally grew into. You said I used to think you'd follow, I said I used to think you'd stay. We laughed at two younger people who believed love could make us change. There was no bitter accusation, no unfinished debt to pay. Just two people finally seeing why we couldn't find the same way. We had two ways to love, two roads beneath our feet. You needed every distant highway, I needed somewhere I could keep. You weren't afraid of leaving, I wasn't afraid to stay. We just called different things forever, and neither one was wrong that way. You reached across the table, your fingers touched my hand. For one small second I remembered the life we never had. You said if I had stayed, I said if I had gone. Then we smiled because the question didn't belong to us anymore. Maybe that was how we were meant to love. We had two ways to love, two roads beneath our feet. You needed every distant highway, I needed somewhere I could keep. You weren't afraid of leaving, I wasn't afraid to stay. We just called different things forever, and neither one was wrong that way. We had two ways to love, and both of them were true. You told me there was more beyond the walls I once called home. I taught you that a quiet room can hold a whole life too. We didn't lose each other, we simply found what we were looking for. Your plane leaves in the morning, mine leaves nowhere at all. You smiled before you left me, take care, I always will. I heard your voice on the radio, though you weren't the one who sang. There was a melody beneath it, and suddenly I knew the name. The street where we first met in April, the old blue coat I used to wear, the way I laughed when I was nervous. You had put it all in there. I turned the volume higher, afraid the song would disappear. Every line felt like a photograph from a life I hadn't seen in years. It was the song you left for me, the one I never knew you'd write. A little piece of who we were, still breathing in the night. You didn't ask me to remember, you didn't ask me to come home. You simply left a melody to tell me I was never loved alone. You wrote about the corner cafe, the rain that soaked us through. You wrote about the way I cried the night I said goodbye to you. You even knew the little secret was enough. It was the song you left for me, and now I finally understand. Some loves don't stay beside you, but they never leave your hands. You gave me back a younger heart, a road I thought was gone. And when the final note was fading, I realized you had carried me along. It was the song you left for me, and I'll never ask you why. Some questions lose their meaning when the answer still makes you cry. If our love was only one chapter, it was a beautiful one to read. You didn't leave me with a promise, you left me with a song. I still believe. The radio went silent, the room went still, but your melody stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed. The whole building lost its power. Every window turned to black. I was standing in the hallway with a candle in my hand. You came walking from apartment 7, holding matches and a chair. You said, "Looks like we're neighbors now." I laughed and answered, "Apparently." We sat out on the balcony, the city sleeping below. You shared the dinner you'd been saving. I told you things I never told a soul. When the lights went out, you became the light I saw. In a city full of strangers, you were suddenly not one at all. We talked until the morning, while the whole world disappeared. Sometimes love doesn't knock loudly, sometimes it simply sits beside you here. After that we started talking, first for minutes, then for hours. You'd leave coffee at my doorway, I'd bring dinner after work. We learned each other's stories, every scar and every dream. Funny how a borrowed candle could turn into everything. I used to think love needed fireworks, something impossible and bright. But you were there on an ordinary evening, and somehow ordinary felt right. When the lights went out, you became the light I saw. In a city full of strangers, you were suddenly not one at all. We talked until the morning, while the whole world disappeared. Sometimes love doesn't knock loudly, sometimes it simply sits beside you here. Years later, when the power flickers, you still reach across from my hand. We laugh about that first night, how little either of us planned. You say I barely knew your name. I say I barely knew mine before I met you. I was only living after you. I started paying attention to the rain, to the music, to the light under the door. When the lights went out, you became the light I saw. In a city full of strangers, you were suddenly not one at all. We talked until the morning, while the whole world disappeared. Sometimes love doesn't knock loudly, sometimes it simply sits beside you here. When the lights go out, if the whole world disappears, I'll still find you beside me, like you have for all these years. We don't need a perfect evening, we don't need the stars to shine. You were there when everything went dark, and somehow you became mine. The lights came back at sunrise, but by then we didn't need them.